I tell you about being in my house? Merry Christmas, everybody. Seriously though, when you gonna buy the merch? What's up, everybody? And welcome back to our Christmas edition of Playing with Fire. And today we're going to be jumping into, honestly, a pretty easy dish. This dish in particular involves ingredients that I honestly really like for breakfast in particular.
Breakfast!
And today we basically are going to be making an omelet, but not just any omelet. We're adding a little bit of a Christmas spin to it. Christmas in particular by means of we cannot use any ingredients outside of red, white, or green. So yeah, we're gonna be calling this the Christmas omelet. Oh, that's so bad. Maybe I'll cut it out as a gingerbread man. Yeah, that's nice clickbait. The Christmas omelet gingerbread man. That's what we're making today. Oh, wait a minute. It's Santa! Santa, please grant my Christmas wish. Give me all the Fireplays merch you can. Thanks a lot, Santa. Now, firstly, when it comes to making omelets, some people like to add milk or water to their omelets. A lot of people make it so that it has like a different type of texture, sweetness, fluffiness. I don't think any of that is even necessary. But basically the things that I'm gonna be using, you know what I'm saying, they're pretty traditional. The main character of this particular story, the eggs. Cardboard. For some of my greens, we have spinach. Well, it's actually a mixture of greens. It's spinach, kale, power greens. I think it's like really good for protein or something. Max out in the gym. Another piece of greens that you might need, or at least in my own opinion, jalapenos. And yes, they are pre-sliced and they're not exactly pickled. Are they pickled? I don't know. You don't at me. Now, for the white ingredients, I was originally going to be getting some sour cream, but I didn't have enough time to get it before the video. So, we're gonna settle with herb tahini sauce. It has some mixtures of white and green in there. You can't see it because of the light. Don't worry about it, it's there. And for my reds, I might add some red pepper in there, but if I don't worry about it because I have some pico de gallo, you know what I'm saying? Got some tomatoes in there, onions. It actually has all three of the Christmas ingredients already in there. Yeah, tomatoes, onions, bell peppers, jalapenos, cilantro.
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes.
Trust me, this is all we need. And without further ado, let's get into the preparations ends. Now, when it comes to making eggs, it's honestly one of the most easiest things that you can make, like, period. What I like to do though, I like to make sure everything is prepped in the beginning. All right, let me demonstrate.
So pretty much for this part, like all eggs, it pretty much starts with just cracking them. Biggest thing you want to do is just make sure that you don't have any shells when you crack those eggs. It's not honestly very complicated. It ain't rocket science or anything. The biggest thing after that is just making sure that you whisk them really well. You want to swipe up when you whisk them. That was a part where I basically had to pick which one I wanted to use. You could either use a fork or a actual like whiskette. I don't know what you call it, but you can use a whiskette. I use the whiskette. The fork works just as fine though, but the main thing, you just want to whisk up and make sure that all of the eggs get whipped in real good and it's real frothy.
And now that our eggs are whisked, it's time to saute the veggies.
So pretty much for this next part, I always like to start with having my skillet nice and buttered up. You know what I'm saying? It's still white, so it counts. I use butter. You can use oil, but I like to make sure that The butter is nice and even around the pan. Then I like to add my veggies, you know what I'm saying? The spinach, the kale mix. I can also, add my jalapenos in there. Pretty much all the veggies that I needed, including the pico de gallo. And pretty much it was just about whisking everything and make sure everything was cooked and sauteed really nicely. I know I could have put a lid over it, but I decided not to. You know what I'm saying? Just to like keep those veggies nice and rotated.
Unfortunately, during the recording, my phone's space completely ran out, so I wasn't able to actually capture when the eggs were actually pouring onto the sauteed veggies, but trust me, it was magical. Maybe I can use some type of stock footage. Yeah, I'll do that. Wow, that was easy.
So now is pretty much the time where it's time to basically just cook the egg. The egg doesn't take very long to cook at all. I'll say one thing that I had difficulty in doing, and I've always had a difficulty in doing this, is knowing when to actually scoop one side of the egg up and flip it over, because sometimes it's just kind of difficult to do it diner style to me. I'm good at cooking scrambled eggs, but omelets is a little bit different for me. But basically, I just kept the omelet cooking and kind of partially way through when I eyeballed it. I flipped the egg over to one side, and I just kept trying to keep it on one side. That way, it could get cooked down really well, and then I can flip it over. It's a little bit tough to do, not even gonna lie. Cooking omelets is not as easy as cooking just scrambled eggs. I'm just telling y'all that right now, okay?
Now with the egg completely cooked, it's time to transfer over to the plate and make our gingerbread man.
So this part, honestly, wasn't really the most difficult part in comparison. I originally wanted to make something that was actually more like a frittata and then cut it. But ultimately that wasn't going to be the case. I could only make the omelets the way I know how to. So my goal was to just cut around the omelet, and I was going to find the gingerbread man within, kind of like how you do a surfboard. But couldn't really do that. So I basically just cut it up into a bunch of different pieces, and until I found the body, basically. So just kind of using what I had, cutting different pieces around, moving different pieces around until they had basically the limbs that, I could use to decorate canvas wise. And that's really when the tahini sauce came in. There was a point where I was going to use the peppers as the eyes, but instead I just used the tahini sauce for the eyes and the mouth, and then I used the jalapeno peppers for just to outfit the body, I guess. And I also used some of the pico de gallo so I can make I guess red pants. I guess I don't know. So I could use red pants, and also could use them for gloves. So it, and honestly, it doesn't look that bad. It's ugly, but it ain't fugly. What?
And now, the final reveal. Let's see what we got here.